Hello friends, in this session we are going to solve some numericals based on game theory. In previous lectures we started with queuing theory and replacement theory. We solved some numericals based on these chapters. Now in this session we are going to focus on game theory, right? Before that I am trying to show you the flow chart of game theory, how to solve the problems, how to approach the problems based on game theory, and then we will solve the numericals. So let's start. So here is the flowchart given of the game theory, how to approach the uh, problems of the game theory. So first of all, you will be given the payoff matrix, right? Now we have to apply the principle of minimax and maximin, which we call it to find out the saddle point. If they both are equal, then we have found out the value of game, which is the saddle point, right? Is there a saddle point or minimax is equal to maximin? Yes, then you have found out the value of game, right? If there is no saddle point, then you can continue with the problem. Now, what is the third step? Third step, sorry, the fourth step is the matrix 2 cross 2 matrix? If yes, then you have to solve with the help of analytical method, algebraic method. We have solved the problem based on these methods in previous lectures. Clear? If no, then you have to use the dominance principle to reduce the matrix to 2 cross 2 matrix so that you can easily solve the problem with the help of analytical methods or algebraic method. Clear? But let's say for example, if the payoff matrix 2 cross 2 matrix is reduced to that size, right? Then no, then the payoff matrix is reduced to 2 cross n or m cross 2, which is suitable for the graphical method problems. Clear? If no, then finally you can solve the problem with the help of linear programming problem, which is not in your syllabus. Clear? So in this way you can solve the problems of game theory. So let's start with one of the examples of saddle point as well as dominance principle step by step, so that you can understand the flow chart and you can relate the flow chart to the examples. Now two companies A and B sell two brands of flu medicines, right? Two brands are there, A and B. Now company is selling these two medicines. Now company A have like different strategies for advertising. First is the medium of radio, then television, and third is newspapers. Now company B has one more, which is nothing but the mail brochures, which is B4, right? Now depending upon the effectiveness of advertising campaign, one company can capture a maximum portion of the market, which is the maximizing player. Which is the maximizing player? A. And B is the minimizing player. B will try to minimize the losses and A will try to maximize the profit. Clear? Now the matrix is given to you, the following matrix is given to you, and this matrix is given, and we have to find out the value of gain. So what is the first step in the flow chart? The first step was to find out the saddle point. So let's look into this matrix and find out the saddle point. Now here if you see, first of all we will find out the row minimum in the matrix. Now row wise, if you see here, first this in this first row the minimum is -3. Clear? In the second row the minimum is 5. This one. Clear? The third one you have the minimum of -9. Clear? Now in the same way we will find out the column maximum. What is maximum in the column? In the first column we have the 8 maximum. In the second we have 5 maximum. Clear? In the third we have 9 as a maximum value. And lastly in the fourth column we have 8 maximum. Now on the right hand side you have to find out maximin, right? What is maximin? You first find out the from right to left, you first find out the minimum values and then you try to find out the maximum out of those. So out of these values, what is the maximum one? It is the 5. Clear? Which corresponds to A2 and B2. In the same way in column max, which is minimax. First of all, you will find out max, which you have already found out. Then you will try to find out the minimum value of all the maximum values. So which is nothing but the minimum value is 5. Now if you see here carefully, minimax is equal to maximum. So obviously you have found out the saddle point. The game has the saddle point, right? And both companies, if they try to go with the television marketing, right? That is, or you can say television advertising, A to B2 for both the companies, right? They will balance out. So in this way, with the help of this saddle point technique, the maximin and minimax finding out, you can solve the problem. But if the problem does not have the saddle point, then what to do? Then we will look into one more example, which is of dominance principle. So let's go into it. Now here, reduce the game with the help of dominance principle, and the payoff matrix is given here, right? This is the payoff matrix, 3 cross 3 matrix. We have to reduce it to 2 cross 2 matrix. Clear? So let's start. See, theory portion of dominance principle is already discussed in previous lecture, but we will quickly refresh it, right, with the help of this example. Again, if you carefully check, the game has no saddle point. If the game has the saddle point, then you can easily find out that the value of game is equal to the saddle point. Clear? Now let's look into the matrix here. If you see the matrix here, the first row, -1, -2 and -8, this one, right? Element by element is less than A3 row. If you see here, 6, -1 is less than 6, -2 is less than 0, 8 is less than 12. Clear? So if this is less than or equal to A3, remember this, less than or equal to A3 row, you can delete A1 row. So that is what I have done here in the next matrix. I have deleted the A1 row. Clear? This procedure or this process you have to do row wise or in row operations. Clear? In column operations, let's look into it in the next step. Now here, look into the columns B1, B2 and B3. Clear? Let's look into row as well if you want to look into the row as well, right? Let's look into the row. 7 is greater than 6, 5 is greater than 0, but -1 is not greater than 12. So you cannot do row wise operations. But let's look into the column now. 7 is greater than 5, 6 is greater than 0. So yes, this column B1 column is greater than B2 column. Hence, what we will do in this case, we are going to remove the B1 column. So that is what I have done here. So I have removed the B1 column. Clear? So in this way, now here if you see the matrix here, the matrix, what is the size of the matrix? The size of the matrix is 2 cross 2 matrix. Clear? Now in previous lectures, we also looked into some of the examples based on the methods which solve the 2 cross 2 methods, which is the flow chart. If you see the flow chart here, if you see this flow chart here, the first step we have solved the saddle point problem. Clear? In the second one we have solved the problem based on dominance rule. Now in next lectures we will try to solve the problem based on arithmetic method, or you can say the algebraic method. Both methods are useful to you to find out the value of the game based on 2 cross 2 matrix. Clear? If you have any doubts, please let me know through my email, through WhatsApp. Clear? We can solve the problems. I can clear the doubts. If you do not follow, then at least you should read the reference book first. Try to solve the problems yourself so that you can understand how to approach these kind of problems. Clear? So that you can easily understand the concept of game theory. So in next lectures, we are going to solve the problem based on algebraic and arithmetic method. Clear? Thank you very much.